allowing yourself to tune into the sounds around you, the air on your skin. And just notice the inhale and the exhales, the rise and fall of your belly. Just deepening the breath, allowing yourself to journey 10% more. Today's meditation is inspired by Tosha Silver from her book, Change Me Prayers. And it's entitled Soulmate. Change me, divine beloved, into one who can trust that the perfect person has already been selected. In the right place and time we shall meet, for you know every true desire of my heart, and may I desire what you desire for me. Allowing ourselves to be in a space of awareness, recognizing that our soulmate could be us, ourself. We wrap up our Vijnanamaya Kosha week, focusing on the wisdom body, and tuning into the soul self and the soul connection. In this yin practice today, we'll be awakening ourselves into that secret space that we hide from ourselves. And just taking some time to sit into these experiences. Observing. And then kindly bringing your hands to your heart space and bringing an intention for your practice this morning. It could be a prayer, a verse, a word. And then kindly beginning our practice with the sound of Om, whether it's in your heart, with your voice, or with your mind. Inhale for Om. Release the fingers, and kindly we're going to make our way into our first pose for our morning yin practice. Let's go ahead and come onto all fours if that's comfortable. And if it's not comfortable, let me know and we can do something else that is. Is that comfortable for you, Kristen?
Yes.
Good. If you wanted to use your blanket, you could use your blanket. We're just going to warm up the body before holding some space in yin. So let's push back through a child's pose, balasana. And inhaling through a cat spine, Matriasana. Press back through child's pose. And begin to link your breath to the movement. Begin to make some circles with your hips if that feels comfortable for you today. And exaggerating the movement if need be. Notice if in the right hip or left hip you need to spend a little more time in that area. And practicing loving kindness to yourself. Just honoring each breath, each experience. Good. Oh. Kitty loves to play in yoga also. And then let's come back to our heels and let's wring out our wrists. And if you need to sit on your block, if that makes it comfortable, and move the feet so it's not so strenuous on the knees, please do so. that would probably be helpful. Just depends on how you feel. Nice, good. And then let's make some rotations with our wrists. And then interlace the fingers, reach the arms up. And let's round the spine on an exhale. Awakening the spinal column. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. And exhale, round. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release the hands down to the earth. Let's step our right foot forward. Knee ankle alignment, and walk your foot out to the side edge of your mat. And then make sure your toes are pointing forward and the heel behind it. Let's take ourselves down into a lizard stretch. So if you feel comfortable, you can take your hands or your forearms down, or if you need your blocks and bring the earth to you, that's cool. In this space, we're going to be here for 3 minutes. So I suggest always to start more easy and work your way down till you find the sweet nectar in this space. Right. We begin now. Begin to close the eyes if you wish. Nice. Let's walk our left leg back a itty bitty and untuck the back toes. If my cat was inside, he'd be doing the same thing. And then begin to let the hips drop down a little bit more. Release both hands to the ground. Yeah. I can only see about your shoulders, up to your shoulders. So if your hands are on the ground, are you comfortable there?
I'll lower you 1 block.
Yeah, lower me 1 block. Yeah. Right on. Yes. I love it. Good. And then, Kristen, if you're comfortable, go ahead and take your forearms down to the mat and keep your knee and your shoulder together. Are you just seeing if your forearms are down? Okay. And then notice what that feels like, and if that doesn't feel good, then we're going to come back up and utilize the blocks and place the forearms on the blocks so as to prevent rounding in the spine. And then bring attention to your knee and make sure your knee is over your ankle, not too far forward. Allow your eyes to close and your face to soften. And you're just tuning into your self-worth, awakening that right hip flexor, and sending your breath into that right hip. Notice all of the movements and all of the nuances that want to happen here. Notice if you're moving from side to side and how that makes you feel. And notice if we can deepen into the breath and just allow ourselves to surrender into this pose. Allowing the next 1.5 minutes to settle into meditation here. If If you wish to adjust the arms or go a little further down, you can, or come up, it's okay. Just take notice in this last minute and a half what works best for you and hold the space, not the breath. This is typically right where we want to come out of the pose. This is where we're facing our most adversity, the most fire, the most challenge. So just waking up into that space here, we allow ourselves permission to breathe into it. This would be opening up into the myofascial release when we're opening up into these areas of tension. We're letting go of this conditioned pattern, stored energy. Let each exhale send a vibrant light of energy to release. Deepen the exhale, draw the belly in. If you feel any discomfort, take acknowledgement of it, observe. Just 5 breaths more. Yes, you can. Now we're going to begin to slowly press the hands down into the earth and slowly make our way up. Rocking back and forth, extending the leg and coming forward. Nice. Oh, look who's back. And then very kindly, let's go ahead and place those hands down. Step the right leg back. Get a stretch, extend, kick back. Make a few circles. If you want to bend your knee, make a few circles to the hip flexor. Nice, and then reverse. Just a little bit. Good. Let's release that foot back down, and now let's take the other foot forward. Take your time to get there. Pat out your knee if you need it. Let's take our blocks, if you like, to start up here a little bit higher. Walk the back leg until you feel comfortable with the stretch, and then untuck the back toes. Good. Very nice. And then look forward, let the hips take a little bit of a rest, let them drop down. Let gravity do the work here. And then close your eyes, begin to soften your gaze. Find a smile. And let's take ourselves down to our most favorite space for the next 3 minutes. And recognize that at any time here in this positions that you can always make adjustments with the arms to discover whether you want to go lower or if you want to come up higher. Bring awareness to every sensation that arises. Notice what it's connected to, what it's linked to. Really discover the somatic awareness, the somatic experience. And allowing yourself in this first minute to make all the little itty-bitty adjustments that you might need. Relax the jaw, relax the eyes. Relax your face. Notice where you're recognizing the space that's tight, the discomfort, and begin to hold that space, embrace that space lovingly. Recognize that your body is not a punching bag. It holds every vibration that you experience and encounter. It keeps score of every experience, every trauma, be it great or be it not so great. So we give ourselves the power to release and protect and encourage as we nourish this area, sending our breath like a mother holds her child. We soften here, last 45 seconds. Last 5 breaths here. And then on the last breath, begin to walk your hands to press into the earth. Removing the props for the side for just a moment. Stretching back and forth slowly but surely. And then kindly coming back towards all fours, we come to the child's pose, get a stretch. Round up, make movements, extend the left leg to the sky, maybe make a few circles. And this time we're going to come towards a seated position, cross the ankles behind us, and come through to seated. Come back to our tushy. Nice. And from here for double pigeon, so if you want to sit on a blanket to elevate your hips, you can. If you find that your knees tend to come up a little bit higher, and you just want to have the bones of your tushy pressing into the mat, so we're going to get a little bit personal there. And that way we can have a nice little pelvic floor tilt here. And then let's bring these blocks over for a moment. The left leg is underneath the right. Ankle over ankle. Notice that my right knee is a little bit high. So I'm going to take my block and place it underneath. Lengthen through the spine. Roll the shoulders back. Someone wants to do yoga too. And then from here, Kristen, I think your kitty loves yoga. Your kitty loves yoga.
Yes, he does.
Beautiful. Good. So we can modify this as much as need be. Okay. Option 1, left leg towards the direction of the front of the mat. But if it's uncomfortable for the tibia, then you want to bring it closer towards the groin. And then the right leg is going over with the foot off of the leg and the ankle over the knee, and take the block, place it under if you need it. Okay? Good. Elevate the hips if you need to. Lengthen the spine. Good. And then from here, keeping the feet happy and active, inhale, lift up through the crown. But don't struggle or force. If it's too much to take the foot over, then I would suggest placing the foot on the ground in front of you, if that's better. Good. Nice, Kristen. Good. You comfortable? Thumbs up? Okay. Arms up, inhale. Exhale, start to fold forward a little bit. Notice where your edge is and then release the hands down to the ground or to your block. Once you have that spot, we're going to hang out here for 3 minutes. And notice in each minute, the body is going to surrender a little bit more. That's the beauty of the myofascial system. The first 3 minutes, typically the body is in protective mode. It is afraid of what's going on. It's not sure, what is this hold? Why are we doing this? And then in about the last portion of these 3 minutes or so, the body will start to release and send that relaxing throughout the whole body, noticing that it is okay, it is safe. So breathe into that safety, that security, that sense of self, the soul self, the soul connection. Relax the jaw, relax the face, relax the brow. If you feel comfortable in the forward fold, you can take your blocks and make a pillow, or you can bring your hands to Anjali Mudra and come into a meditation, honoring the space, softening through the hips, repositioning and realigning any torsioned pelvises. Begin to soften 10% more around the body. Notice any colors, any patterns, any shapes that begin to come up within the mind's eye or in the space between the brow with the eyes closed. And then taking these next 45 seconds to drape fully over the body and extend yourself into your greatest expression here. Very lazy now. Next breath, slowly release. Couple of breaths to drag your way back up. And once you're all the way back up, hands behind you. Press your feet into the ground. Windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And then we're going to switch positions and exchange our right now down to the ground and the left over the right. If you feel comfortable, begin to extend the arms up, making all of our adjustments, all of the comforts that we need, recognizing that one side will be different than the other. And then let's begin to fold forward, beginning with maybe an elevated space and taking the next 3 minutes to work our way down, draping over the legs. Relaxing the jaw, the eyes, the mouth. The awakening from within. The meditations, the intentions. Just being I am, Soham. Begin to drop in 10% more, maybe even extending the arms out in front of you, dropping as low as you can, and then just drape over the body. Last 45 seconds here. Embrace this moment, hold it, soften around it. And then slowly begin to drag our way up. Arms reaching all the way up. And exhaling the hands behind you, clearing the space and letting the feet touch the ground, windshield wiper from side to side. And then let's come back to center, extending the legs out long in front of us. You have the option to sit on a blanket or not. It's up to you. It just depends on how you feel personally today. We're going to hold this pose for 3 minutes. It's a rounding pose. You want your toes to be very active. The legs are going to be long and extended. However, if the knees are finding themselves a little bit uncomfortable today, a blanket under the knees or a towel or cushion is really great. And then let's go ahead and take the hands probably to blocks to start if that works good, or allowing yourself permission to let your fingers look like little spider fingers or cupcake hands. And then you're going to round your spine and let your chin come in the direction of your chest, and then slide the hands until they're resting comfortably about your knees or thighs area. We're going to remain in this pose without slouching for 3 minutes. You're going to start to feel a sensation in the neck, and then it will begin to journey all the way down the spine, down into the root, opening up all of the tension, all of the tightness and the myofascial tension along the vertebra. Breathe here deeply. You're going to start to notice any colors or patterns that might manifest in correlation to the sensation that begins to travel down the back of your neck and down all the way to the coccyx. You can make a couple of chin rolls here if you want to just move your head from side to side to get adjusted. And then allow the lower back to round slightly here. Allow the rounding to happen through your thoracic line all the way up to the cervical. Scoop the pubic bone slightly under in the direction of your tailbone so you're creating a C shape. So we're using the weight of the head to add the gravity and the pull for the release. We're kicking through the heels. The toes are a little bit active here, so a little plantar flexion, a little dorsiflexion. Relax your eyes, relax your jaw, deepen the breath. Apachapa, honoring the breath, and simply just recognizing where it is, how it's breathing, how it's moving, how it's flowing. You might invite 3-part breathing, Durga breath, or I like to call it 4-part breathing, where we inhale and pause at the top, and exhale and pause at the bottom, observing. You may begin to feel this energy probably around the shoulder blades, around in between the shoulder blades. The more rounded the spine, the more the arms extend out, the more you'll feel it along the lower portion. One more breath here. We hold and we just surrender to all things that are no longer serving our higher good. We release it. And inhale, slowly begin to roll your way up. The arms reach up towards the sky. Clear the space for staff pose, Dandasana. Bring the hands down by your sides. And listen to your heart, listen to your breath. Bend the elbows slightly, push into the ground, lift the chest. And exhale, release. Slide the feet in, give yourself a hug here. Wrap your arms around your knees, roll in. Inhale, look up, hands to knees, lean back. Exhale, roll in. Hands to knees, inhale, lean back, look up. And exhale, roll in. Butterfly stretch, feet together, knees apart. You have the option to place the blocks under the knees if you feel comfortable. Kristen, do you happen to have a strap? No, that's fine. Don't worry about it then. We're not going to use the strap. So then bring your thumbs to the insides of your feet and your fingers wrap around the rest of your feet. Good, good. Now, if you feel comfortable, you can sit on your block or sit on your blanket, and this will elevate the hips so that the knees are not so high. Good. And then let's flutter your butterfly. Yes, so this way that you have more of this pelvic tilt forward, anterior tilt, so that way you can have more space to breathe. Fun fact is that our lungs are connected, they attach to the L4. And so our psoas also attaches to the L4. They meet there. So we are technically breathing into our legs. When I say we're breathing into our legs, like legit. So now we're going to breathe into our legs and we're going to release. And this is a nice place. If you need to make fists with your hands and place them underneath your thighs, this is a really sweet modification if we don't have extra props or tools. And then that way you can lift your chest and then allow your legs to open. We'll be here for just 2 minutes in this pose. And in this pose, you have the opportunity to help your legs by gently letting your hands rest on the inner thighs, placing your tools beneath you and letting gravity do the work here for you. So you have these options. Or hands behind you, and this will let your knees drop down by opening up because you're stretching the psoas and pulling it apart. Very good. Close the eyes. Whichever pose you want to do, you can do a combination and discover what feels good for you. It's always fun to play around. And now let's close the eyes together. Let's breathe together. Just finding this community. Finding oneness, maybe you activate the feet, press the feet together. What does that feel like? Maybe you play with empowering your feet and relaxing the feet. Relax the eyes, relax your jaw, relax your face, your body. Just bring awareness to all of the sensations that are going on. Observe the breath. And then kindly on the next breath, we're going to extend the legs out long in front of us. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, hands to the thighs. Lean slightly forward. Inhale, roll yourself up. Exhale, bring your heart forward. Activate the feet. Inhale, pull yourself up. Last time we come forward, and as far down as you want to go, stretch the arms out, lengthen, and then drape yourself down here for 5 breaths. Good. Just drop into it. Get lazy. I like to use a block and just drape my arms over it and round out my spine. Shaking my head yes, shake my head no. And then very kindly rolling yourself back up. Very lazy morning stretch. Morning stretch hands, make fists, make circles with the wrists. Spread the toes. And then release everything as we begin to make our way into Shavasana. And Shavasana, I like to do more of like a babbling brook. Very similar to more of a restorative pose. So I'll take my blocks and just place them underneath my knees. I'll bring them together to resemble a bolster. And then take your blanket and place it over, and it makes it nice and cozy and comfortable. So then it really does feel like a nice, good, juicy bolster. And then place these bad boys over those blocks. And take note, you can make it as high as you want because your blocks have 3 heights, so do what's best for you. It's always nice also if you prefer, you want to take your legs up a wall later down or tomorrow night or later this evening and use this video, you could do that too. And then let's roll down. Relax the shoulders. Relax your lower back. Relax the arms, the hands. Let's make a couple of adjustments here, all the little nuances. Go ahead and wiggle it out. Make a few little wiggles of the fingers, toes, ankle rotations. If you need to add any tension and relaxation anywhere, this is a nice time to offer that. I wouldn't offer any more additional poses as the body has gone through a lot this morning. So give yourself this time to find rest and relaxation and comfort. If you want to push your hands into the hip flexors for a moment of grounding, and then energetically pressing the hands away, pushing the energy out and down from the hip flexors and out through the sides of the hips so the energy is now flowing through the external release. And then releasing the hands down by your sides, or one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Any position really that serves you best. If you prefer to close your eyes with something, cover your eyes with something, you can do that too. Okay. Couple of breaths. Let everything go. And we'll hold the space, not the breath. Tune into our self-worth, our higher self. We value ourselves and our gifts. We recognize the past. We observe it, but we know the truth. We recognize the strength and the ability to overcome. Deep breaths until they disappear into shallow, soft breaths. Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Rarna Hare, Govinda Jaya Jaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Rarna Hare, Govinda Jaya Jaya. Take a few moments to breathe into your fingers and your toes, to breathe awareness back into your body. Meditating here together for about 3 to 5 breaths. Bowing to yourself, honoring your practice, honoring God or your divine source for giving you the opportunity and the blessing and the ability to be present and be here in this moment, to carving out this time for your self-care, to be the best version of yourself for others. The light that lives in me honors and appreciates and loves the light that lives in you. And may you have a blessed rest of your week. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Together we close our class with the mantra of Om. Inhale.